Cars Go Vroom. This is episode 4. On this podcast, we talk about the oddities, the interesting things, and all of the fun stuff that has to do with anything that has wheels, goes fast, burns gasoline into competition, and tries to excite as many fans as they can pack into one arena on one track, around one oval track road course, and all things that have to do with racing. My name is Clint.
And I'm Rob.
And we're excited to be back here. We're always excited to be back here and talking about
Always.
this kind of stuff and see what kind of weird stuff and humorous or whatever kind of stories or details we can dig up and talk about everything that goes fast on wheels. So we appreciate you coming back. If you've discovered us here, make sure you share this with your friends. You found episode 4. If you've been here for 1, 2, and 3, go back and check them out and tell your friends about it if they like things that are mechanical, things that race, and just good stories, or if they like to learn things. So that's kind of our goal here, right? I've learned some stuff.
Basically, I have learned a ton. It's only 3 episodes in. I've already, I'm ready to go some more.
Right on. All right, so I'm going to start with something a little bit interesting. Most people have probably heard this or seen some version of it in the movies or on TV. But you have probably seen some images of sidecar racing, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So I should back up and say, typically we've talked about things on 4 wheels so far, right? We've talked about cars.
So
far. But today my theme is 2 wheels. Sidecars frequently have 3 wheels. But I'm going to focus on motorcycles today. On both of my topics. Sidecar racing is probably one of the most unhinged things I've ever seen in my entire life. Obviously it wasn't something that was built out of a desire to race, but it was a necessity, right? And so in the early 1900s, when motorcycles became a common transportation for families, and obviously you get 1 or 2 people on it, and the sidecar became a necessity so that more people could travel at a lower cost, right? But as we do, and our desire for adrenaline rush, we decided we're going to race it. And not only did they, put the sidecar in a way that you could race with 2 people, right? You've got the driver on the motorcycle, and then you've got the passenger, which is also known in sidecar racing as the acrobat, or sometimes the monkey. They're assisting with the balance of the vehicle and making sure that you get the right traction that you need in the turns. But at some point throughout this adventure, they started putting jumps on these courses and making this almost like a motocross. In the 50s, they started what they called the kneeler revolution, where the driver was basically laying on their belly, almost flat, or kneeling down on their knees, like just all kinds of crazy stuff. As if just hanging onto the side of a motorcycle wasn't enough. We just had to see how weird we could make it, of course.
Yeah.
But if you've never seen it, it's worth checking out, Googling and seeing some videos of it. And these guys are just madmen. And I'm sure there's women involved as well, but they're just crazy people.
Insane.
And it just, it takes a special kind of person to want to compete on any kind of thing that goes fast. But when you're hanging on the side of a motorcycle, whether it's in a tub type sidecar or, one of the flat ones, where you're literally just kneeling, you know what I mean?
You're not the one in control. I mean, you're helping stay in control, but you're not the one controlling. That's insane. That's nuts.
Yeah, and they communicate, like we talked about on a previous episode. I think it was episode 2. You talked about all the hand signals and communication and verbal, and verbal signs to navigate, verbal navigation signs.
Left 6, 150, caution.
Yeah, so
I remembered.
Yeah. so here you've got the acrobat hanging on the side of the motorcycle in the sidecar, and also communicating with hand signals because the engine's right there and they can't hear.
Oh yeah.
It's just absolutely insane
style
of competition.
That's really cool. That's awesome. I'm gonna have to Google that now. I'm gonna have to check out YouTube.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. Like I said, it's all of it is adrenaline junkie stuff, but I think sidecar racing is one of the crazier things that I've ever seen.
I've seen, like I said, I've seen it. It's insane. The way the acrobat, I didn't know that was there. I thought it was just the co-driver or the co-pilot. The acrobat, he's insane. He's
Yeah,
nuts.
and I mean, you think about it, like you can't be strapped into that thing. You're just on it,
No,
right? So
yeah,
either you hang on or you don't, or you don't.
yeah. I've seen him lay their whole body over. It's insane. It's crazy. I love it.
Yeah, so that's what I've got there. That's my first piece about motorcycle. So we'll talk a little
All
bit more
right.
about motorcycle racing in a few minutes.
Well, I didn't find anything new or crazy, but I do have some news coming out of F1. Uh, well, first off, March 8th is the Australian Grand Prix or Grand Prix, whatever. And not only that, it's also International Women's Day. So in the past, tracks had corner names, like Maggots and Beckett's or Cops up in Silverstone. Like Spa had Eau Rouge and Radion. Like these are names that gearheads know, but modern tracks are more like, turn one, turn two, turn seven. However, for the first time ever, two women will get their name on a corner, and it's going to be in Albert Park in Australia. And like I said, it's going to be March 8th, International Women's Day. And the two women, Hannah Schmitz and Laura Mueller. All right. So, real quick, I'll tell you the background. Now, it's called In Her Corner Initiative, and it's between the Australian Grand Prix Corporation and Engineers Australia. And what they're doing, let me make sure I read this properly. It highlights the contribution of women currently shaping F1 and aims to promote greater participation of women in engineering and STEM disciplines. So it's a cool initiative, and they're promoting these two women. They're naming the corner after them. And just so you know who they are, Hannah Schmitz, she got a master's in mechanical engineering, and straight out of school, she went with Red Bull. And this is in 2009. And she started out as a modeling and strategy engineer. 2011, she became a senior strategy engineer. And then in 2021, she became the principal strategy engineer. And this year, she is head of race strategy. A little bonus fact, she is one of only 11 women to stand on the podium to accept the constructor's trophy in F1. So Laura Mueller, she got a master's in automotive engineering. And instead of going straight into F1, like right out of school, she decided, I'm going to engineer all the cars. This is only a small fraction of the stuff she's done. Before she went into F1, she's done Formula Renault, Stock Car Brazil, the European Le Mans, and the FIA World Endurance Championship. And that's just a small fraction that I've taken from her CV. In 2022, she joined Haas, and she was, I believe it was the simulation development engineer. In 2023, she became a performance engineer. And in 2024, the first full-time female race engineer in F1 history. So she is in Esteban Ocon's ear every race, telling him what's up, telling him like, hey, we're going to pit here and we're going to overtake later. So the whole thing will be presented by Ruth Buscombe. Now, Ruth is also a badass in her own right. She studied, this is insane, aerospace and aerothermal engineering.
Huh? What is that?
I don't know, and I'll never know. She wrote her master's thesis on the effect of DRS, the thing we've talked about, and like the studies were done in conjunction with the FIA. Like, who does that? How do you have your master's thesis just like, hey, FIA, can I borrow your cars?
Listen, if I could tell my 20-year-old self that I could write a master's thesis on anything related with racing, I probably would have been an engineer.
Yeah.
But it just didn't. I didn't think that was a possibility, right? I didn't make those connections. But
And then she went in 2012. She started again in the simulation department, but this was with Ferrari. 2013, she was a race strategist for Ferrari. Halfway through the 2015 season, she joined Haas as the strategy engineer. see, this is a theme with Haas. They're hiring women, which is really cool. About a year later, she joined Sauber. Now, at the end of 2023, she finished her engineering career and she was head of race strategy. But that was just her engineering career because now she's on F1 TV. So you can hear her give like just the best strategy knowledge ever. When she talks, you listen. So March 8th, hopefully you'll see it before then. If not, you'll know about it, but it'll be the Mueller Schmitz corner, turn 6 in Albert Park.
Where are they in their season? Is that what number race will that be in the season?
First one. We're opening the
so
season there.
That's awesome. Yeah, cool. That's good stuff, man. And that's International Women's Day, March 8th is?
Yes, sir, it is.
Awesome. So yeah, I remember we talked in the other episode that F1 was getting ready to kick off, and it's such a progressive sport, technology wise and culturally. It's always gonna be at the top of the list, I think, as far as how fast the activity is moving. No pun intended. That was a terrible pun.
That was bad. It's going to be left in. It's going to be left in the final cut.
Leave that in.
Yeah, that's there. All right, my friend. So lay it on me. Teach me something new today.
All right. You've seen this, you know about it, so it's not completely new to you. But I want to talk a little bit about the origin of something that probably thought a little bit about, but never really dug into. Okay. So how much have you seen of Superbike racing? Have you watched much of it at all?
If I come across it, I'll stick around for a little bit, but I haven't gone looking for it.
Right. That is another activity that I believe is 100% insanity. There's no way you could get me to get on a machine, 1,000cc, 180-mile-an-hour motorcycle on asphalt and going around turns on the verge of being out of control, which I don't know, disrespect to those drivers. They're absolutely in control, but I would 100% feel completely out of control.
It looks like it. It looks like it.
Yeah. Yeah. If somebody passes me on a motorcycle on the road, I get nervous and I'm not even on it, you know?
No. Yeah. But then again, the difference is those are amateurs and these guys are pros. Right. So
yeah. But these things are wicked fast. And they have, just like F1, I mean, technology is getting them, they're getting faster, more efficient, aerodynamic. The race courses are getting more advanced. And so out of necessity, they had to find a way to corner faster. So you're probably going to guess where I'm going here.
Their knee, right? Is that what you're going with?
Yes. We're going to talk about the third point of contact. So you got two wheels on the track, and then the driver's knee be the third point of contact. And I mean, the goal necessarily is not for it to actually be like a point of contact, but it's a gauge, right? And obvious reasons, I mean, there's got to be some protection there. I mean, these guys are cornering sometimes at 40, 50, 60 miles an hour. Sometimes in the big sweeping turns, it could be way more than that. But, they're wearing leather race suits, which offer a certain amount of protection. But when it comes leather to asphalt, I mean, you get down to flesh, bone, real quickly.
Yeah.
When this first started, Jarno Saarinen, that really started to push it, and Kenny Roberts as well. And what they started doing was just wrapping layers of duct tape around their knee, which, I mean, there's so many jokes in that, but all they were doing
were they from the South?
Kenny might have been.
Nope.
Jarno was known as the Flying Finn. So
South Finland.
Bruh.
So yeah, they started layering duct tape, right? Because that's the first thing you go to is duct tape.
Right. Heck yeah.
Just to add a layer of protection. And then, obviously that stuff is going to peel off. And then they started cutting up milk jugs and putting them on their knees and then putting duct tape around that. and they would take the visors, the off of helmets,
Oh, that makes
and tape
sense.
that on. So you can see there was an evolution of where we were going here. They tried wood for a while.
Oh,
Uh,
weird.
yeah, in 1981, they used this. They created this hard rubber thing that had like spikes on it, and they call it the porcupine or the istris. That was an idea, but it started creating more friction because it had the spikes that would rub off.
I was going to say that just seems counterintuitive to what you want.
Yeah, um, but it was just one of the things they tried. They made really thick leather pucks, made a cowhide that was used for a while. And then as technology progressed, they started using high density polyurethane, thermoplastics, magnesium or titanium. But then, because of the thickness of it and the metal, um, started creating, different things like a trail of sparks, or it was
Oh,
generating heat. The plastics would melt, and they had to start continuously engineering different things. So it's that third point of contact has evolved over the years, all the way back to the origin of it was duct tape.
that's insane. So what are they using now? What is the final setup?
um, wow, I don't even know what these materials are, dude.
Holy cow. Okay. So it's obviously super scientific, like all the carbons and all the fibers.
After years of working through and engineering all of those different materials, obviously technology caught up, and most modern version of the Superbike knee pads are like these impact absorbing polymers, that are like a polyurethane carbon fiber combination. It's like a anti-slip, solid, but it's a flexible sock. So the technology is made it breathable, movable, and you kind of endure the contact, and just it's keep on evolving, man, until they get
Yeah,
where they
dude.
need to be. So
Like how did we get into all this smart talk today? What the heck happened?
that's what we're doing, right? We're trying to learn. I've watched those. This is something I've watched for years, and thought that's crazy. Like obviously, I
Yeah,
know there's some sort of metal or really thick something in there, but I've never really
something.
thought it was, thought of what it was, or where you buy it. You know what I mean? Like I've never had
I'm
a
going down to Ace Hardware. Do you need a knee pad? I'll be right back.
somebody give me a hammer.
That's amazing. Yeah. All right. So now I have some stuff to watch this weekend. All right.
Yeah,
Love it.
so that's what I got. A little bit of focus on two wheels, and the third point of contact. There's a theme there. See,
I like
so
it.
you talk about the sidecar and you talk about the knee. The third point of contact for racing on two wheels. So how about
Well, I'm going to give you a hint next week. No wheels.
bring it? No, no. Oh, I got. So that could go a
Yeah,
couple different ways,
it
but
could. It could.
we'll,
But
we'll
I think you know where I'm going.
we'll leave it as a teaser. We appreciate you guys coming back for another episode of Fast Cars Go Vroom. We can't wait to come back with another episode. Fifth episode now. We're cranking through them. This is four.
Yeah.
We got five. That's how they progressively work, like lap
That's
numbers
how
one,
numbers
two.
work. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So make sure you are sharing this with your friends. Tell somebody about it so they can come join
Please do the
join.
like and the comments and all that. Actually, do the
Subs-
comments. I want to know stuff.
what is it they say? Smash the subscribe button.
Ring that bell. I
Uh,
don't know. All
until
right, my
next
friend.
until next time, you guys enjoy your racing and everything that you enjoy about motorsports, and we'll see you again right here on Fast Cars Go Vroom. Tech viscoelastic foam, bro.